Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I thought I'd do a bit of an update on my planner setup for the moment. Obviously I did One Book July and stuck around in my bullet journal until I filled that. I have now since moved back into my passport, so I'm in a passport and weeks combo and obviously still using my cousin, so I thought it would be a good time to kind of just revisit my planners at this point in the year, kind of take you through how I'm using them, is it the same? And yeah, it should be quite a quick video, but get a good kind of flip through some of my planners and you can see kind of how I'm using them and how the spreads look. Without further ado, let's start with the Hobonichi Cousin. Okay, so the Hobonichi Cousin, I haven't really changed much throughout the year. Obviously during One Book July, I didn't use it for anything other than scrapbooking. I did keep my scrapbooking / memory keeping in here because it made sense. I wanted a full complete year, but everything else I basically down tooled completely in here. So although I was using this for kind of content planning, I have only just moved back into this kind of from October, so you can see kind of literally just the beginnings of being back in it, and then I started to set up November. The weeklies, I just kind of jump into these still every now and then. I think I've used it once since July. I just kind of fancied doing some pretty planning with stickers, and so decided to do that one week. I like how it turned out. It's not something that I have the inclination to do every week, but it's nice to have the option when I want to. Okay, so next we have my daily pages, and as I mentioned, during One Book July, I was still using this for scrapbooking and memory keeping. The other use that I have for these daily pages, which is effectively kind of commonplacing, so any kind of notes, random things I want to write down that kind of don't have a good home in my weekly pages, I use these pages for. In my pocket bullet journal, it worked out really nicely to kind of do all of that in there. And since my pocket bullet journal has been filled and I'm kind of back in a passport, I haven't fully kind of got back to this yet. I'm kind of in a bit of a no man's land when it comes to commonplacing at the moment, because I don't really kind of like how the pages are laying now, so it's getting a little bit chunky. You can probably see it a bit better when I kind of close it, and for the most part it's fine, particularly on the right hand side of the page, although you can see here it is a bit of a struggle. But on the left hand page it's not great to write on, and as my commonplacing is just a lot of me writing, I'm not enjoying this as much, and so I am kind of in a bit of a tricky situation in terms of where do I do that commonplacing. I think my passport is probably going to fill that gap for a few things. I'll still use this for kind of bigger things, but if it's just kind of small notes and things like that, I probably will just naturally gravitate towards my pocket bullet journal, towards my passport. But yeah, and this has been the big reason why for next year I know I need to split my commonplacing and my scrapbooking, because the pictures and the things that I kind of stick in terms of ephemera do just bulk it up and make me not want to write in it. I know that there's ways around it. If I take this cover off, I can kind of fold this in a certain way, kind of so that it isn't thick on one side, it's kind of evened out. But I like this cover that it's in, and I don't want to faff about. And while I have the passport that has lots of blank note pages, I kind of feel like I'll just make it work for the next 2.5 months and then kind of have a better solution for next year. But that's it for the cousin. So pretty much kind of as it was at the start of the year, commonplacing notes, scrapbooking / memory keeping, with probably fewer notes and stuff as the end of the year goes on. Next up we have the Hobonichi Weeks, and aside from the time that I wasn't using this because I was in my pocket bullet journal, I have been pretty static in terms of how I've been using this planner. This is effectively my brain. All of my plans go in here, basically all of my tasks go in here. The only thing really that's changed now is that kind of post One Book July, I now use this more as a plan out my week and then kind of live day to day in my passport TM. And that's kind of the only thing really that's changed, is that the pages probably aren't as full. So if you kind of go back kind of pre-July, there's a lot more in it. This now looks a little bit more bare. This is when I was on holiday. yeah, these look a little bit more bare because while when I'm in the kind of dailies, I will probably capture more within the dailies, and this is more kind of my framework for the week. So I'll sit down on a Sunday, plan out my week, and then as the days goes on, move over into my daily pages as I come to the day. Basically, I will add to these as the week goes on, but it's more if something comes up on Monday that I know I need to on Thursday, I'll go in and write it on the Thursday, for example, and then when it gets to the daily page in my passport, I will move that over. Probably sounds a bit weird for now, but kind of when you see my passport TN, you'll probably make sense of it a little bit more. But yeah, that's how I've been using that, and I'm actually really enjoying it because I can't fully do bullet journaling. I can't do just pure daily pages, and I don't want to write out weeklies in a bullet journal. It's just, I didn't enjoy doing it as part of One Book July. It was probably my least favourite thing. So having this just to set up my week, get my brain clear in terms of what I need to do, and then kind of, you know, go about my week in my passport TN that I can carry with me, it works nicely. It ticks the kind of two bits of my brain in terms of how I like to plan, i.e. on the go, but then also be set up, know what I'm doing for the week, know what I'm doing and when, and this allows me to do that. The notes pages are kind of as they are kind of for random notes that I don't feel need to kind of go in the Cousin from a kind of, you know, long-term notes, because that's kind of what the common placing is for. It's for things I'm going to refer back to multiple times, whereas the notes pages in here are more kind of ad hoc stuff, so like things that I want to buy and sticker ideas, like ad hoc ones. And yeah, a couple of the things I wrote in my bullet journal as little collections have been moved over into here, because I did do a couple of handy ones around kind of recurring tasks and things like that, but largely these are just kind of, yeah, random notes pages. Finally, we are talking Passport TN, so you will have seen this on the channel before. I set this up kind of last year sometime as a purse and did really enjoy using it as a purse, but obviously for One Book July I needed to move everything into the bullet journal. It worked fine to an extent, but I did miss the storage, so kind of having the canvas pocket here and here, having the plastic kind of card holder, it was tough to kind of replicate in the bullet journal. So I'm happy to be back within this. These are some stamps because when I was on holiday I happened upon a partner shop and they had a load of stamps, so obviously I went a bit mad. But yeah, back into kind of what this is set up for. So I have my monthly calendar in here. This is just the perpetual one from Traveller's Company. I missed having a pre-made calendar / monthly planner. Like I said, I hated drawing things out in the bullet journal. That was the only thing that I really despised about it. So being back with this and kind of having all of my plans in here, and yes, there's still some kind of setting up that I need to do because it's undated, but if I don't have to draw out and I just have to write in dates, that's fine by me. Or use stickers as I did here. Yeah, perfect. And yeah, like I say, I've got some storage and for kind of cards and vouchers and things like that, and then I go straight into a blank, well, a dot grid insert. This one is from Crafty Alley, and before kind of moving into this as a proper bullet journal, I was just using this for kind of random notes and things like that. Now this has been kind of set up properly as a bullet journal, you can probably get more of an idea about what I was talking about with my weeks. So last week as an example, so let's show you. So this was the week that I set up on the Sunday. So I planned out what I was doing each day, what tasks I needed to do, then I had kind of a running to-do list, and then basically the day before each day I would go and move the tasks into the daily log, and then as the day goes on, add notes, add more tasks, etc, etc. If there's anything that needed to either go into here on the weekly for later that week or for the monthly, I have a square kind of open box signifier, and then I just mark that off when it's been moved into kind of whatever location in the planner that it needs to go. And yeah, that's just kind of how how the week's gone on. It doesn't look particularly neat. It's not meant to. This isn't pretty planning. This is, I mean, these are some stamps that I tried at a meetup that I went to on Saturday. But yeah, it's not, it's literally just meant to be a quick, dirty bullet journal that I have on me so I know what tasks I need to do and have it kind of on me rather than my to-do list being back home. And yeah, I really like how it's kind of turned out. I've obviously got this week kicking off. The only thing is these stamps have bled, so they don't look great. So top tip, don't use these stamps on this paper. And yeah, I'm using my Calico Sport because I really wanted to get back to using a fountain pen, and this fits nicely with this. So it does mean that if I do want to write anything in here, because I'm a colour coder, I do kind of have to make a note of it here and then migrate it when I get home, but that's fine. And yeah, so this is going to basically be that will keep me until the end of the year, and then I'm going to move into some inserts from Good Impressions because this dot grid, although it's fine, is a little bit too small for me. I do want something slightly bigger. And then back, I just have a reusable sticker paper kind of book that I made, which will not come out, with just some kind of ad hoc stickers if I do want to use any in my planning. And also it's a great place to keep any stickers that I might find kind of when I'm out and about, you know, on coffee pots or things like that I want to use in scrapbooking. But yeah, that is kind of set up now. Like I say, I'm 2 weeks back into it because my bullet journal only just got filled in September, and then we went on holiday for 2 weeks, so kind of fresh start back from my holiday. And yeah, it's working out really well so far. I'm enjoying it. It's nice to have my to-do list back on me again, but also kind of in a better format than just kind of a notebook. I've got more things with me. I've got a whole year's worth of calendars. I've got storage and pockets and things like that. And yeah, much prefer it. I do miss my bullet journal. I loved the format of that. I loved kind of the size, but it didn't quite do everything for me that I needed it to. So I feel like this has been a bit of a ramble. Hopefully you enjoyed it though, and hopefully kind of made sense of my current planning system. So Hobonichi Cousin for memory keeping and some kind of collections and kind of commonplacing, Passport TN, purse, future planning and kind of daily planning in terms of bullet journal style. And then my Hobonichi Weeks is kind of still my main planner. It's where everything goes in terms of plans and setting up my week and everything like that. My finance planning is still in here. This will kind of always be my consistent this year in terms of everything goes in here pretty much. And yeah, it's working really nicely. It's not too complicated. Yes, there's some repetition, but not in a mad way. You know, like I say, there's nothing about this that I try and keep pretty, so it is a very, very quick planner to update. Whereas this, I do take a little bit more time, but I enjoy it. It's part of my creative outlet. But the combo of these two is working really, really well. And then just having this for kind of everything else and having a, you know, a big book I do like, and I will probably always have something like this for, you know, bigger planning, goal planning, longer term, book notes, etc. Yeah, it would be too much to put in here. There's not enough pages in here and I don't want a mega, so this does kind of tick that box. Just, yeah, I need to get over the whole chunky pages and writing terribly on it, but that's a me problem. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this probably long and rambling video. If you do have any questions about my planner setup or how I'm using anything, please drop them in the comments below. But if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye!